All right, guys, welcome in to my official list of top 10 best Lego sets of all time, updated throughout 2023. It's very hard, obviously. This is just my personal list. I am going to give a few honorable mentions, but just personally, the Grand Carousel, that's a great set. I just couldn't throw it inside the top 10. The Holiday Train. You always love the holidays with Lego, things like that. It's just, unfortunately, it's got too few of pieces to really be considered as a top 10 Lego set all time for me personally. And then the Imperial Star Destroyer. I just didn't want to have too many Lego Star Wars on here. If I would have included this one, it would have been 3. So I wanted to kind of spread it around and include a lot of different sets. There are several landmark sets, icon sets in here. Obviously, those were the biggest ones. But we will start at number 10 on my top 10 Lego sets of all time with a modular building. I had to throw one of these in there, and I am going with the Cafe Corner, which is just one of the best modular buildings Legos ever released. It was one of the first they released. I just love the overall design, especially kind of the upper windows of it, the way that looks, just very detailed overall. The inside of it is completely hollow, but that really doesn't bother me. I mean, that's just kind of the older design of how the modular buildings were. To me, this has got to be one of the best Lego modular sets, even though it was one of the first. It just comes off very clean. I love the overall color, kind of the bricking, the way it's designed. You've got the front entrance with the little lamps. You've got the little overhang with the yellow and white. And then you've got the nice little hotel sign. So it's just a super in-depth set. A lot of pieces, really good. And it comes in at number 10 on the best Lego sets of all time. At number 9, I am going with the Death Star. So obviously, there were 2 versions of this. You could really either go with either one. The one from 2008 or the newer one. This is just an iconic set, especially for Lego Star Wars. It's just like, it's massive, especially for like 2008, having a set this big with all the different compartments, all the different rooms. You've got a really small basement, and then you've got 3 floors for the Death Star, and then you do have a little elevator in the middle of it that also does work. So just super detailed. This one was famous for having like 24 minifigures, and then when they re-released it, there was like 27. It comes in at number 9 on the best Lego sets of all time for me. At number 8, it is the Tower Bridge. So, I remember this one. Yeah, this was a doozy. And unfortunately, it's crazy how quickly Lego evolves. It's like, this doesn't really feel like that massive of a set now. But when I was younger, this set was huge, and it was just so beautiful. You've got the bridge, you've got the 2 towers. You could display this thing. It just looks amazing. Overall, total pieces over 4,000. Great price point at only $240, and a value of this new apparently is only $270. So I think that's great value for a retired set, but it was in stores for basically 9 years, from 2010 to 2019. Probably a ton of these got produced, so there's not that big of a demand, but I just think it looks really clean. It's really nice, and it comes in at number 8. Number 7 is going to be a ultra modern set, the Lord of the Rings Rivendell set. That is one of the biggest sets in history with over 6,000 pieces, 21 minifigures, all unique Lord of the Rings minifigures, retailing for $500. It's only been out for a little over 2 months, and it's just beautiful. What else can you say? It really does give a great fall vibe to it. If you light it up a little with orange and things like that with those trees, yeah, it's a really, really detailed set. It's got kind of it was kind of hard to rank some of these because the ultra modern ones are going to have a significant advantage. They're just more detailed. The ones with more pieces are also going to have an advantage. You're not going to see anything with like under 1,500 pieces being on here. It just can't be. If I'm ranking the greatest sets, Even though this one is ultra modern, it's got to be on there just because of the overall detail, the overall design of it. You've got the bridge, you've got the water, you've got all the trees, and then you've got kind of the main area there. So yeah, this is a really nice one. I have it at number 7. Moving to number 6, it is the Colosseum. So the Colosseum, over 9,000 pieces, costing right around $550. Beautiful. I mean, what else can you say? This is something you can display this. It looks amazing. I have seen some images of if you buy lights for it, how good it looks. But yeah, just the overall shape of it, with it being like a circle with a stand at the bottom, the presentation of it is just so professional and clean, and it has to be on my list. The only reason it's not higher, I would say just after a while looking at it, it does get slightly bland just due to all the tanness of the coloring. But still, I mean, I've got to have it on my list when it comes to the greatest sets of all time, with how many pieces it is, with how detailed it is, even though it is a more modern set releasing in 2020, and I'm sure it's going to be on shelves for many, many more years. So it comes in at number 6 for me. At number 5, it is the newer Eiffel Tower, right over 10,001 pieces total. That is amazing. It was released 5 months ago in 2022, currently going for $630. So there was an Eiffel Tower that was released a while ago, but this is the new and improved one. It's bigger, it's way more detailed, and it is very, very tall. I mean, if you had this thing displayed, it is a beast. It is legitimately really, really cool. I think the bottom of it is disgusting. That's the one thing that I really hate. So they kind of have like these weird trees at the bottom, and it comes off just looking really bad. I would almost say if I actually bought this set, I would try and make a custom bottom, maybe just like my own thing or something down there. I just think it looks really bad. It's like there's trees growing into the cement. I don't like the look of that. I understand if you want to be accurate on what actually the bottom of the Eiffel Tower is, but I just think it came off as really ugly, so that's my only major problem with it. But it's just very tall, so like it's going to come off extremely impressive if you see it in person, based on how tall it is, based on it having over 10,000 pieces. It's a must in terms of being on my best Lego sets of all time, and it comes in at number 5. Moving to number 4, it is the Hogwarts Castle. So this one, releasing in 2018, it's still on shelves, currently going for $470. It is just beautiful. I mean, it legitimately looks like a medieval castle mansion. How do you beat that? You've got the nice bridge, you've got all of those big towers. It just brings it all together. And then also the brick design, kind of the rocks on the side, bringing the entire set together. Along with like the main castle tower in the center in the back. And then you kind of have a church off to the left. I mean, it is just really detailed. And again, it looks like a medieval castle mansion, especially looking at it far away. It is beautiful, and it comes in at number 4 for me. At number 3, it is the newest Millennium Falcon. So this is the biggest Lego Star Wars set in existence at over 7,000 pieces. It is still on shelves currently, and, you know, the interior of it, the overall detail, it is the best version of the Millennium Falcon, not surprising, considering it is the newest. The newest stuff is normally always the most detailed. If it has the most pieces, it's going to be the most detailed. But yeah, it is a super in-depth, super detailed set, and it comes in at number 3 on the best sets of all time. At number 2, it is going to be the Lego RMS Titanic. Of course, this one's very, very popular. A lot of people heard about this when it was released back late in 2021. Over 9,000 pieces. It was the biggest set of all time, I believe, for a little bit, until the map passed it. But overall, the Titanic, I mean, I love the Titanic personally. I've always been fascinated with it. And the fact that they actually came out with an in-depth, real Titanic. It's so hard to create like a Lego ship because of the way the curves are. You have to go super in depth with it. So when this was actually announced that they were doing this, you know, it's going to be a top 5, top 3 set all time for me. Right now it's at number 2 just because I love the Titanic. I mean, could you imagine if they would have actually gone a little bit bigger with this set to where you could actually have an interior that would show like the grand staircase and stuff? I know they do technically, like you can see it, but the interior is just so small. Imagine they made one that's like 20,000 pieces and it retails for like $1,400. I wonder if they would do that. Probably not, because it would be out of people's price range. But I mean, this is just beautiful. You got the Titanic. I mean, it's the greatest ship of all time. We all know this, folks. Come on. It's the most famous ship ever. You've got the 4 smokestacks. You've got the overall design of it. I love the red, black, white color scheme of the Titanic. So it is beautiful, and it comes in at number 2. And then number 1, the greatest Lego set of all time. It is going to be the Taj Mahal, which was re-released back in 2017. I really don't know. There's just something about the Taj Mahal. There's something about combining the color Snow White with the gold on top. I just love the way the Taj Mahal looks. It's beautiful. The overall pieces, maybe you could say, you know, it's only got 6,000 pieces. There's other sets that have way more. They should be higher. There's just something about the Taj Mahal. Maybe it's nostalgia. I remember seeing this set when I was younger. I always thought it was just so beautiful. So for me, I've got to rank it at number 1 on the greatest Lego sets of all time. I mean, you could put so many different, you know, sets in here. It's all subjective. They're just my rankings personally on where I'd put them. You could argue the Millennium Falcon should be number 1. You could argue the Eiffel Tower, because it's got 10,000 pieces, should be number 1. I just go by a combination of overall look, overall detail, total pieces, kind of all of that goes into it. And that's why I put the Taj Mahal at number 1. I just love the white and the gold, and just the way the structure looks to me is so beautiful. So that's why it is number 1 on my list. But those are the top 10 greatest Lego sets of all time here, updated in 2023. Guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.